Which of these skills do you think is the most important to succeed in media? Is it talent and creativity, management and business skills, or ambition and persistence? To you, Ash, what is the most important thing you need to succeed in the media business?
In media, you do have people that, yeah, you could be in the accounting department. Obviously, I'm not talking about those people. This is a YouTube. This is a show really about storytellers and entrepreneurs. I think if you don't have the blue there, the art, the artistic talent, the creativity, whether it's a writer, directing, or in just the world, like you're a singer, dancer, whatever, I don't think you will be seen as authentic as and genuine. I've always liked stories. I've liked biographies. I love music more than probably even movies and TV shows. And so if you don't have that passion, or if in my case, I'm a pretty decent writer, I like to think at least. So if you don't have that as a core, then I think the rest is kind of moot unless you find yourself somebody who is good at that and then you bring the other ones. So I think that is, in my opinion, like probably 50-ish% of it, if I'm going to be candid. I think without that, just don't bother, or don't think you could pull it off yourself, because we do live in an era of authenticity, and YouTube highlights that. But I do think though that YouTube especially, or really just these social platforms where there's no barrier to entry, anybody could be a storyteller. You do need to have that ambition, drive, persistence, and resilience, for the simple reason that there are no overnight successes, right? Like even YouTube says it, if you follow their ex Twitter account, they're like, your first video will not be good. And if you wait for perfection and you don't publish, you're not going to start engaging with the community. And realistically, the first time we did any video, it wasn't all roses and flowers and chocolates and whatnot. It was like, what the hell is this? Stay in your lane. And you have to be resilient. You have to really, really I always go block out your biggest fan, your mother, and your biggest critic, some loser that, has no skin in the game and is just probably jealous and envious. But, you will get a lot of feedback that is hurtful, especially when you're telling stories yourself and when you're being vulnerable and opening up. Like Watch Mojo, we covered other things, but a lot of creators, they're opening up their hearts and their soul, and there's some, trauma and insecurity, and you kind of want compassion and empathy, and people are like, screw you, unsub, dislike, die. And you're like, oh my God, so you do have to stay persistent. You do have to have a lot of ambition and drive, because frankly, that's really what separates winners and losers, not loser in a bad way, but just those who don't win and get to the top, so to speak. So to me, that is probably in this racket of storytelling is probably like 35%, if I'm going to be honest.